Welcome back to Tamara Knows History, where we explore the macabre, the weird, and the mysterious. Today's subject is the Ghost Army of World War II. So, that was a secret unit that fought not with bullets but with illusions, trickery, and sound. Their story was hidden for decades, and when it finally emerged, it revealed one of the strangest and most creative chapters in military history. So, in 1944, as the Allies prepared for the final push into a Nazi occupied Europe, the US Army formed a special unit, the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. And unlike traditional divisions, this group was made up of artists, sound engineers, set designers, and radio specialists. So their mission was deception, convincing the enemy that massive armies were gathering, moving, or attacking, when in reality only a few dozen men stood before them. So the Ghost Army's arsenal was like anything seen before. Inflatable tanks, trucks, and artillery were positioned in fields, painted to look like real from the air. Giant speakers blasted recordings of troop movements, tank engines, and artillery fire, echoing across miles of countryside. So radio operators also mimicked the chatter of entire divisions, creating the illusion of thousands of soldiers. And camouflage artists staged basically, how can I say, like fake camps, complete with laundry lines, mess tents, and dummy artillery. Even the smallest detail, like tire tracks in the mud, were carefully faked to set the illusion. So imagine being a German scout peering through binoculars at a valley filled with tanks, hearing the rumble of engines, and reporting back to command, like only to discover later that it was all smoke and mirrors. The Ghost Army turned war into theater, using art and sound to save lives, yet their work carried danger. If they were discovered, they had little defense, so they were armed only with pistols while pretending to be thousands of men. So they were shadows on the battlefield, literally like phantoms of war per se. The Ghost Army staged more than 20 large scale deceptions across Europe. After D Day, they created the illusion of two divisions near the Loire River, drawing German forces away from real Allied troops. So, in another operation, they tricked the enemy into believing Patton's army was preparing to cross the Rhine at one location while the real crossing happened elsewhere. Their final mission was in March of 1945, and it was perhaps the most daring. They staged a massive fake buildup along the Rhine, convincing the Germans that the Allies would attack north of Cologne. In reality, the true assault came 10 miles south, and historians estimate their illusions saved tens of thousands of lives. Among the Ghost Army's ranks were cultural icons, so fashion designer Bill Blass, painter Ellsworth Kelly, and other artists served as ranks. They sketched, painted, and designed illusions that would later inspire their creative careers. So for them, war was not just combat, it was a performance, it was a stage play where their survival depended on convincing the enemy of this lie. For decades, the Ghost Army was classified. Only in 1990s did the truth emerge, really. Veterans spoke of their strange missions, their inflatable tanks, their soundscapes of war. What seemed like a myth was revealed as a fact. In 2022, the US finally awarded the Ghost Army the Congressional Gold Medal, and recognizing their extraordinary service, and their story is now remembered not just as a curiosity, but as a proof of creativity to be as powerful as firepower. The Ghost Army reminds us that war is not only fought with guns and bombs. Sometimes the strangest weapons are illusions, phantoms of war that tricked the enemy and saved the living. So, yeah, the legacy is both haunting and inspiring. A unit of artists who turn deception into survival.